Hi, everybody. Welcome back. It's Sunday. Welcome back to the news aggregate. I've got to do a couple of things as people pile in, and then we will get started. And I'm going to start the show on a fun note today. So hang on 1 second while I just do something quickly to get set up, and then we will dive in. It's going to be a good Sunday show. Hang on. Give me just a moment. All right. How's everybody doing as I get ready to go here? See where everybody piles in. Great. All right. One more second, and then I'll be right back. I'm just playing with some YouTube settings here so everything is fine. And then I will be right back. Okay, welcome. We have one in the chat. Everybody, as you pile in, please do come in, say hello, tell me where you're from. Welcome to Do Monica Media. It is the Sunday news aggregate. As you know, I like to talk about things that maybe you missed in the previous week, and we can catch up on things that I think media stories and things like that shouldn't go under your radar. So please do say hello and let me know where you're from. And I'm going to start out. So today we're going to start out with something kind of fun. I saw this 82-year-old guy who just was absolutely really made me smile. So you can't be like totally serious all the time, right? It's not healthy, I don't think. So we're going to start out with that. Then we're going to talk about Don Lemon being arrested, and we're going to have the real analysis of it from a real lawyer. Mike Davis will give the real, we'll look at his analysis of the actual charges and what it really does mean for Don Lemon. We've got a couple of examples of the left who was doxing ICE agents. Now they're being doxed and how they react to it. And then we're going to cover FBI crime scene tape at Fulton County. So that's actually quite a big deal. So as everybody piles in, I'm going to look at the comments. Let me see if I can get those. Here we go. Oh, go away. All right. Let's see. See if I can get the comments going. Has anyone said hello? Someone say hello so I can make sure to see the comments and let me know where you're from. And by the way, as always, we'll look at some of the footage, then we'll stop, we'll talk, we'll enter the chat, we'll have some discussions. I will prioritize super chats. And then also, if you can like and subscribe, that would be wonderful. If you're not able to do a super chat, that's no problem. Like and subscribe. It's free and it helps me grow. So if you like my content, I really, really do appreciate that. Okay. So anyway, like I said, I wanted to start out with something kind of fun as everybody piles in and have a little bit of joy before we go into the, if you haven't seen this 82-year-old on America's Got Talent, you've got to see it. So let me share my screen and we'll get to that because it's really just so much fun. Okay, ready? I'm going to share this. You got to watch this guy. You're going to have such a blast. Watch.
We're sort of more important than the Hubble telescope.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, John, listen, good luck.
Okay.
Watch this.
Let the bodies hit the floor. 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 Nothing wrong with me. Nothing wrong with me.
I love this.
Nothing wrong with me. Nothing wrong with me. Something's gotta give. Something's gotta give. Something's gotta give now. Let the body hit the floor. 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 Let the body hit the floor.
Okay, thank you for obliging me. I just thought that was so much fun, isn't it? That guy was 82 years old, worked on the Hubble, and we have to celebrate. We have to have a little bit of fun. It's just so important. So I wanted to open the show with a little bit more levity and a couple of laughs. Hello, everybody. Um, you're from Oregon. Great. Fantastic. Okay, so Jeff Williamson, I'm going to put you up on the screen here. No, I'm not saying that it's okay to barge into a church and harass people. No, I'm not saying that at all. And in fact, we're going to start the what I want to cover today on the show. Megan Kelly, we'll start with her, and then Mike Davis's breakdown of what this really means. So let's get started there. I'm going to take you off the stage so we can get that on the screen next. So let me do that as everybody's piling in. Okay, here we go. Let's have Megan break it down, and then we'll talk a little bit, and then we'll watch Mike Davis. Here we go.
Klan Act, a felony. That's where you violate somebody else's civil rights, like that, to attend a worship service. And he's been charged also with violating the FACE Act, which makes it a crime to, quote, by force or threat of force or by physical obstruction, intentionally injure, intimidate, or interfere with, or attempt to injure, intimidate, or interfere with any person lawfully exercising or seeking to exercise the First Amendment right of religious freedom at a place of religious worship. Okay. So if he, in short, if he, by physical obstruction, interfered with someone's ability to go to church, he's in trouble. And that's what they're alleging. That he and others went into that church, they obstructed the aisles, they obstructed the entrances, the exits, the ability of parents to get downstairs to get their children who are in the preschool sort of waiting area where you put your kids in Sunday school.
Okay, so I wanted to have Megan kind of serve it up. What is he actually being charged with? It was a grand jury actually that ended up, I mean, as you know, he was charged, I think, initially a couple of weeks ago, and then a magistrate judge, dismissed it. So Pam Bondi and the FBI and the DOJ came back. They opened up a grand jury, and a grand jury found that there was probable cause, and he has been charged. Now, what's important is you're hearing all over the news, all over the left-wing media, all over everywhere, they're melting down about this is his First Amendment right. He's a journalist. This is totally okay. And obviously that's their narrative, but I thought it was important. Let's have Megan serve it up. And then we'll have Mike Davis, who is a serious lawyer, talk about what he is really, really faced with and what potentially he could, prison time. These are felonies that we're talking about. These are felonies. So going to check the chat and see who's coming in and saying hello. And then we'll get Mike Davis. We will get Mike Davis. So Ice goes, okay. Anyway, thanks for piling in, everybody. We've got a nice crowd today. And let me get to Mike Davis because his analysis of this is very, very important, I think, for people to understand. So we're going to bounce over to Mike. And we're going to share this tab instead. And let's hear what Mike has to say. This is the real breakdown. Here we go.
Let me start with you. Your reaction to the news and to the people, the leftists all over X with their dramatic, this is about the First Amendment. President Trump has crossed a new line. This is an infringement and so on.
Yeah, journalists do not have the First Amendment right to violate federal law. And that is exactly what Don Lemon and his co-conspirators did here. When they stormed a Christian church during the middle of the service, Don Lemon went up to the pulpit to obstruct the service and debate the pastor during the middle of his service. They terrified the parishioners, including little children. As you said, Megan, a woman fell and broke her arm. This is textbook Facebook or FACE Act violation. This is textbook Klan Act violation under 18 U.S.C. Section 248 and 18 U.S.C. Section 241. And these Democrats who are wailing about this today, are very familiar with these charges because the Biden Justice Department under Merrick Garland and Lisa Monaco and Vanita Gupta and Kristen Clark used both of those charges to go after elderly Christians who trespassed and prayed in abortion centers.
Right. So they don't like it when it is, the shoes on the other foot, right? And by the way, I don't know if you guys knew this. I did not know this. I did not know that somebody fell and broke their arm. So there was actually, injury as a result of this protest inside a church. And Don Lemon was trying to say that he's a journalist. Well, Mike Davis, if you're not following him on X, definitely follow him on X. His X is fire, and he's really not anybody to play with. If you don't know the backstory or who Mike Davis is, he actually worked a lot under, I believe, he worked with Chuck Grassley, and then he did a lot of work, Article 3 project, to get Supreme Court justices nominated. So Mike Davis is a serious player, nobody to play around with, and his assessment is it carries weight.
So if you're going to use the FACE Act to go after elderly Christians in abortion centers, you can certainly use it to go after Don Lemon and his fellow modern day Klansmen who are terrorizing white Christian churches on purpose.
That's the thing, Bill. If Don Lemon or Megyn Kelly, for that matter, just trespassed into an abortion clinic, or let's say, into a Rite Aid. Okay, let's pick that. It was closed, but somebody opened it, like somebody was burglarizing it, and we walked in without permission. We could be cited for trespass as journalists, but that'd probably be it. We wouldn't be charged for burglarizing necessarily, but they crossed into a facility that has an extra layer of protection. And like he messed with the wrong Marine, to quote Colonel Jessup. And that Marine in this case was a bunch of parishioners trying to worship, and which makes a big difference under the law for Don Lemon.
Well, of course. And thank you for having me on, Megyn. I'm a longtime fan. Mike and I know each other well. The
Awesome.
First Amendment says Congress shall make no law. Journalists typically or generally can avoid prosecution.
I'll stop it right here for a second and just ask everybody, do you think he's going to be charged? Oh, Donna Lemonade. By the way, everybody's piling in. We're getting a good crowd here. Please do let me know where you're from and say hello. And let's have a discussion before we move on. Okay, let's see. We'll pick some different comments and get the conversation started. Okay, Mr. Bohr, DOJ going to get their asses, FAFO. I certainly hope so. I think that would be something that we all want to see. And by the way, we did see Pam Bondi, everybody's been saying, hey, there's been no arrests and things like that. I don't know whether this one will stick or not. I would be interested to know from you guys, do you think this is going to stick? Let's have a chat about it. But yeah, at least we did get, I think that's a pretty big arrest. And I don't think Don Lemon thought that this was going to happen. They do kind of think that they are, untouchable. After this segment, I've got a couple of other examples of the left, having meltdowns over them being held accountable or having pushback, and we'll see how they react. And we'll get to that after we're done with this segment of the show. But let me know what you think. Mel Gillum 462, a judge denied MN injunction to stop ICE yesterday. Good. Okay, and there's not too many trolls here today. I can't believe it. Okay, let's see. Carol Holman 446, whoever you are, can't stand you and your idiotic views. Very brainwashed. Fox News is brainwashed too. Well, thanks for joining, Carol. Again, I don't mind discussion and discourse. I don't know why you can't stand me, but I'm glad you joined the chat. So welcome to have a discussion, but I'm not going to really tolerate any kind of like name calling and things like that. That's just not something that we're interested in doing. Okay, so let's see if we can get some more chat here. We're going to get rid of anybody who uses disgusting comments. Today's not so bad. I can't believe it. We're actually having somewhat of a civil discourse day with the left. Okay, let's see. Hello. Pi Vex. I'm killing your name. Hello from Oregon. Welcome. I'm in Chicago. Where is everybody from? ICE goes into churches. Absidy. ICE does go into churches when they need to apprehend a violent, somebody that's charged with a felon, as in murder. They don't by and large go into churches just to do deportation. So this is a little bit different. If, like, as an example, if Brian Kohlberger, as an example, was in a church and law enforcement had to apprehend Brian Kohlberger, they would go into that church to apprehend him. What was very different about what we saw with Don Lemon and all of the protesters 2 weeks ago was that they stormed the church. They were harassing people while they were praying. They went up, and actually Don Lemon started to get in the face of the pastor. I mean, very, very different circumstance. And so you're not really painting it the way it really happened. There is a distinction between ICE going into churches, which I don't even really know that many cases of ICE going into churches, and what that protesting anti-ICE, paid agitator group did in the church a couple of weeks ago. So let's keep going. Okay, Funabas. I can't stand these people, even hearing them talk. He was into the barely legal type. Not really sure what that means. Let's keep going. New comments. And by the way, everybody's pouring in. We're getting a good crowd here. Please do like and subscribe. It does help me grow, and I would really appreciate it. We've got Slovakia Jedi America. Great. Lady, are people going into a church a crime? Well, going in, yes, I think they are alleging that, yes, it is a crime. What we saw Don Lemon and the paid agitators did a couple of weeks ago in Minneapolis, they are alleging that that is a crime. And if you recall, there was William Kelly. I had him on one of my long form videos. He was the farmer that was kind of yelling and screaming and having meltdowns and actually kind of cracking me up, to be honest, because he was so unhinged. He's been apprehended. I think there were 2 others that were apprehended, and you haven't seen William Kelly on the social media lately. So to answer your question, Destiny 9705. And by the way, I think I've seen you before. Thanks for coming back to the chat. It's good to see you. And again, discourse is totally fine. Love discourse. Thomas Garigliano 288. Go Trump. I think you've also joined me in the past too, Thomas. I love having you here. Thanks so much. Let's keep going, and then we will go a little bit further. No, I'm sorry. No, it's Slovakian Jedi. Thank you. I did butcher it. I do apologize for that. Okay. The Quality Leering Center disrupted a service is a crime. You are correct. And I love your picture. That's so great. So much fun. We'll keep going. And no, you do not. No, you do not. I think this is some cross talk. Anna LaSalle 3690. I think I've seen you before too. Anna, nice to have you back. I hope they go to jail for a long, long time. I hope they do too. And I actually think that that's actually very key to this, is that it's not enough just to charge them, because you know what? They have to learn a lesson. We have to. Matt Walsh was doing on one of his podcasts talking about they have to really basically go to jail for a long time, have their lives ruined, just like they would do to the right, just like they did to, I remember there was a pastor, Catholic gentleman, praying a rosary outside of an abortion clinic. And I think he went to jail for like 6 months. I don't recall his name right now, but that's what, when it's on the other side and it's the right and it's the left that's going after the right for things that they don't like, our people do go to jail. So it is time that Don Lemon and the others do prison time. I totally agree with you. Viking Viking bad. The leftist Democrats are out of control and evil. Yes. And in a second, I'm going to bounce to something that happened. They're doxing people. Then they got doxed, and watch how they react. So we'll hang out here for a few more comments, and then we'll go to the next thing. I wanted to have Mike Davis's assessment and Megyn Kelly framing up what Don Lemon is facing. But, I mean, the guy's a clown. The guy's a clown. Alicia, check yourself. Very 1,000 pages dropped yesterday. I don't know. I think I missed some crosstalk. So, okay. Paid agitators. LOL. What is this shite? Release the Epstein files. Yeah, Alicia, we did actually, to the Quality Leering Center's comment, there were quite a bit of files that, if you didn't see the live press conference with, the guy from the DOJ, Todd Blanche did a live press conference about everything and all of the new files that they did release. So yeah, and paid agitators, Alicia, these people are paid. If you think it's organic, I got a bridge to sell you. This is not organic. It's kind of been proven. Have you heard about the signal chats? I mean, that's all over. I could have covered that. It's frankly too much for me to cover, week to week. So I try to pick out things that I think should be brought to your attention. But yes, these people are paid agitators. And so look up Cam Higbee and the signal chats. And there's a lot of information about that on X. This is not organic. Okay. Patty Wacker 7777. Don Lemon and his loser friends violated the FACE Act. I absolutely, completely agree. Okay. No name. Who has the money to pay these thousands of agitators? Is called George Soros. There's all kinds of NGOs all over the place that do pay these agitators. So George Soros has been a big backer of this. There's actually a guy in China, which if I had that clip, I would pull it. But there's a guy in China who is funding all of this so you really have a foreign actor getting involved in this. And I do fail to have that actual person's name, but that's also all over the news. Okay. Susie Safari, you're a liar. Who, me, Susie? Why so? Please tell me. Patty Wacker, they funnel taxpayer money through BS NGOs to pay these people, so you and I pay for it. 100%, Patty, totally 100%. Mel Gillum 462, they use shell companies to funnel the money. That is true. They do that as well. Trump has been looking for whoever pays these agitators and hasn't found anything, but you dummies will believe everything. Dan, I think you've been in my chats before. Welcome back again. I mean, we can take a little bit of roughhousing, no big deal. When it crosses the line, I will ban you, but I don't really think that they have actually enacted or executed the FBI or the DOJ going into actually looking for these paid agitators yet. I do think that's coming, actually. So we'll keep going. All right. EI Capitan Games. Unfortunately, I think 49% of people are just stupid. MAGA and Dems are guilty. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Okay, later. Oh, you're leaving us? Okay, well, no problem. I'm glad you were able to join. All right, now what I want to do is I'm going to go to the next thing, and this is about the doxing. As you know, all of this stuff that has been going on in Minneapolis with the ICE protesting and things like that. There was a lot of coverage in the last few weeks of ICE agents being doxxed. We had nurses that were doxing ICE agents. They were getting fired. So this has been widespread in a number of these different left-wing circles and the anti-ICE protesters. But watch how they react when it happens to them. So let me go to that. And while you guys are piling in, I will share this screen. So let me do that. Okay. So There's a guy named Mercado Media. Mercado Media is very left wing. He's all in the ICE camp. But guess what? There's a guy named Jaden Scott, and I'm going to play this. This is fabulous. Look at this meltdown.
Andrew, there's 5
Hold on.
minutes.
I'll make this bigger, and then I'll back it up. And what he did was he did this.
Andrew, your video, it was cute. However, the team who punishers, we got your address. We know who you are. Watch your fucking mouth. You hear me? Watch your fucking mouth. Commies, stand down. We've broken your signal groups. We've hacked your sites. You dumb fuckers vibe coded out a site that should have been locked down. And Andrew, watch your fucking mouth, bitch boy. Wipe your paws off.
Misinformation comes with consequences.
Andrew.
Okay, so that is an alpha male who's a MAGA warrior who is really had enough of this stuff. And this guy, Mercado Media, you can see, if I just make this a little bit smaller, we can see, please share, Jaden Scott and unknown accomplices have found where I live and posted a video online outside of my door. I have my apartment management and local police involved. Okay, well, you're okay with it when you're doxing ICE agents, but when you get doxed, you panic. You panic just like the little wuss that you are. And most of these people on the left are wusses. And I'm going to move to the next thing because there was another lady who actually had an absolute meltdown because she couldn't protest inside of Target. And listen to what she has to say. Let me grab her and share this tab instead. All right, here we go. Let me grab it. Okay, so Don Keith, Karen is upset that Target stores are no longer going to let ICE protesters disrupt their businesses anymore. Listen to this. These people are just not that smart. Okay, here we go.
We've been told as we've been coming to Target stores chatting with managers that this is open to the public, so that they actually can't take people out of the store because it's open to the public. So we really wanted to come today and use it as public space. That's what they told us it was. But when we came in and tried to sit down and hang out and use it as public space, as they told us that wasn't allowed. They said we have to be shocked.
Okay, first of all, it's not a public space, okay? Target is a private business. It's not a public space. You can't just, this is the meltdown. Maybe she was told that, but Target is not a public space. It's a private business. So it's not the same thing as walking, the street or walking on the sidewalk or going to a park or something like that. It is just really not the same. And again, how bright do you have to be to not understand this? I mean, these people, here we go. That'll keep going.
Well, first they told us we have to be standing. So we stood. And then they told us we have to be shopping. And so we said, doesn't seem like ICE comes in here and shops. Do you kick them out when they're not shopping at Target? Oh, how interesting. But it does seem like they want to kick community out of Target. So that's what we're here to do today, to call out that hypocrisy that Target actually can kick people out of their store, and they should be kicking ICE out of their store every day.
Thank you. Okay, totally not even the same thing. She's totally retarded. And I would like her to maybe wash her hair, actually, to be honest with you. But two things. First of all, they loved Target when Target was selling all of the trans little baby outfits and gender, hiding, genitals for babies. The left loved Target when Target was doing that. Now they don't like Target so much because Target is pushing back on them. So, FAFO, I guess. Rules for thee, but not for me. And by the way, we'll go back to the chat for a second. And by the way, ICE it's not exactly the same thing. Again, ICE will go in there to apprehend somebody. That's very, very different from taking up occupancy. And just absolutely making yourself at home at a private store. It's not the same thing. I mean, law enforcement can go wherever they need to go generally to apprehend criminals. And again, Tom Homan said it. He said it from the beginning that ICE wanted to go after people that initially the illegal aliens that are here in this country that are violent criminal offenders. That's their first target. No pun intended. That was their first target, to go after violent criminals, the kind that killed people like Laken Riley and Rachel Morin and those kind of people, the people that are over here with criminal records and things like that. And so if they need to go into a Target or they need to go into, wherever they may be, they can go into those establishments to apprehend violent people that have warrants for their arrest. Same thing that they would do to any American. If you had a warrant out for your arrest and they knew that you were in the Target, they would go and apprehend you in the Target. So, I mean, it's not exactly the same thing. So let's look at some of the chats, comments. Exactly. It's public access, but private business, not a public forum. Thank you. I totally agree. Just turn off the electricity to the Minneapolis hellhole. I think something like that should actually happen too. I don't disagree. Patty Wacker, she's so brave. Totally. Okay. They're trying FBA civil rights movement lunch counter sit-in. Yeah, John Henry, that's exactly what they're trying to do. So when they don't get it their way, they don't like it. And I've got one more clip to play of another leftist, actually two more. And this is who these people are. They're not very nice people. And, they don't, they all love Venn diagrams with Kamala Harris. Remember Venn diagrams? Well, that was a class in logic. And that lady that was talking about Target doesn't understand logic and critical thinking. Just because ICE goes in there to apprehend a violent criminal, felon, is not exactly the same thing as you going in there and having a sit-in and disrupting a private business. There's two different things. They don't align. This isn't that hard. What's the matter with people? Anyway, chat's piling in. I want everybody to say hello. Nothing about Rise and Rice says they pay people. Can you link a single receipt of someone getting paid by them? A name or a social media? Well, actually, I know that it's organized. I do believe that they were getting paid. In fact, I don't have it handy, Vostok, but I will tell you that Laura Ingraham went on site about 3 weeks ago, and she was talking to somebody that was at one of these protests, and she asked the lady, "Do you have a job?" And the lady, this anti-ICE protester, yelled and screamed, "This is my job. This is my job. This is how I get paid." So they kind of admit that they're getting paid. So there you go. Let me see. Mr. Young Thug, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. And I wanted to put that up there exactly for that reason. You're exactly right. And it is Sunday, and so it's important. And thank you for saying that. So anyway, we'll keep going. I've got a couple more leftists to play, and I want to get the chat going. And okay, let's see. Democrats cause this problem with their catch and release. Infidel in loud. Oh, you've been back too. Nice to see you again. I think you've come to my live streams before as well. Nice to see you again. Gradual decay 1040 websites, online agencies. Okay. Joe Friday, over a lifetime, the former unlawful immigrants together would receive $9.4 trillion in government benefits and services and pay $3.1 trillion in taxes. They would generate a lifetime fiscal deficit. Well, there's definitely a strain on our systems. There's absolutely no question about that. And I can tell you that, being somebody that lives in Chicago, trying to go to maybe the DMV or an ER and things like that. And it's all illegals. It's all, and then they're straining the hospital systems. Absolutely. They are a drain on the system. Oh, good to see you. I'm so glad you're back. Nice to see you too. I hope you had a good week, and I hope everything is going well for you. Okay. I try to show my support to all my right wingers. Yeah. Well, you know what? We need that. We need to come together. They come together. We need to have, have our voices heard. And there's more of us than there are of them. And so I really appreciate that. Let me go to this other lady because she's like totally insane. And she's this is just a picture of the left. Okay. This is their mentality. I mean, I hate to say it, but they're just nasty people. So I'm going to go to that one next. Let me share my screen and get to this other lady. No, that's not the one. Hold on. Give me a sec. I got to go back. Trying to run my chats. And you guys are very patient with me, and I do appreciate that. Here we go. Okay. So I'll grab this other lady real quick. And then we've got a lot of other stuff to cover. We got Brandon Johnson saying all kinds of crapola. This guy's threatening people. This lady. I want to play this lady. You know why? Listen to her. So I mean, therefore I am. How damn miserable do you have to be to record a whole video whining that a friend showed up unannounced and you couldn't stand it? White leftist women are a cancer. I can't disagree. Listen to this lady. This is crazy. Okay, she's terrified. Do you guys remember the days of old when people would stop by, you had a new neighbor that like moved into we used to bring cookies over. Those were real things. These things did happen. So she's number one, she's terrified and she doesn't know where to go with it. I mean, how insufferable can you be? Ugh. I mean, who wants to be with these people? Reward your bad behavior. What is that? What is that? Oh, did I share it? Oh, shoot. Did you guys see that? No, I did. I shared it. Hold on. I'm going to play it again. Oh, I'll play it again. All right. You got to hear this lady. Okay. You can see it now. I mean, can you imagine that? Now you guys saw that this time, right? Let me make sure. Sometimes I have to do the. Oh, it did. Darn it! All right, one more time. Bear with me. You guys are the best. Oh, okay. One more time. I'm gonna do it one more time. I'm getting better at this. This is live production, so just give me 1 sec. Okay, here we go. I will go back. We'll remove. We will add to stage. Stop sharing. I'm going to do this again. Sorry, guys. Live production. Okay, now I know I've got it. All right, we got this because this lady's too good to miss. Ready?
I just experienced something truly terrifying. Someone stopped by my house unannounced. They wanted to make a social call, hang out a little bit. Hey, I'm in your driveway. I don't even really know where to go with this. First of all, I am home. Second of all, there's no scenario where I'm going to come outside and reward your bad behavior.
I mean, I'm going to let it keep going, and I know I'm sharing it this time, but I mean, first of all, let's look at just the nastiness. Someone's trying to be friendly to this woman, and she's number one, she's terrified, and number two, I don't know where to go with this. Who the hell wants to hang out with you? My God, how about being nice? We need a little bit more niceness and friendliness. I mean, do you guys all in the chat remember? I mean, you used to stop by your neighbor's house before we had cell phones. Hi, I just was in the neighborhood. I thought I would stop by. I mean, I know that we live in a different time and a different place in this world and things like that. But the attitude, somebody's just trying to be a friend to this woman. And that's who, you know what? Never mind is what I would say. Okay, we'll let her keep going because she's just ridiculous. Here we go. Listen, you don't call her.
You need to follow the rules like everyone else. You need to text me, never call me, ask me if you can come over, and then I will say no. I just experienced something truly terrifying.
Okay, did you guys see it this time? Barbara Stolly, I live in West Texas. Yeah, exactly. Meet and greet. Exactly. I think you guys did see it this time. Yeah, Joe Friday, chew on that. I know. Yeah, they have no families. I mean, these people are like, honestly, that's really a problem. There's really a problem in this country when you're just so nasty and somebody's just trying to be friendly. I mean, what is this about? It's just awful. Stop pausing at most. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's my live production, and I do appreciate the tip. So we'll keep talking a little bit. Some people believe being left alone, there's an emergency, then they want everyone to be their friend. The only Marlon. Yeah, exactly. Joe Friday, Christian didn't become great as shown by the failed African Christian nations. The meek shall inherit the clown world. I don't think that's very nice to say. Well, thank you. Intig 17. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Anna LaSalle. You're doing great. No worries. I love our live chats. I love our Sundays. But anyway, I just wanted to share in this segment going from the Don Lemon story to just a little bit of, the doxing of, on the left and how they react and, just who these people really are. It's just, I just thought it was important. But I think the other thing that I want to talk about is, let's see. Oh, Jamie McShammy. I think you've been in the chat before too. Bear down, Chicago Bears. Thank you, Jamie. And by the way, as everybody said, I think some people are shuffling out. We're going to the next topic and others are shuffling in. Please do like and subscribe. And if you want to support my channel, super chats are always great. But like and subscribe if you can't do more. It's free. I want this channel to grow. I really love my Sundays and would really appreciate your support, but we will move on. But I do want to see this video full context because what the WTF is she talking about for that? Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I don't like even when my friends come over unannounced, LOL, and I'm a 36-year-old dude. Yeah, I get it. But I mean, and I do understand that. And it's okay to say, hey, now's not really a good time, but to be offended by it, I mean, is that crazy? And I don't have the full video. So if I could find it, I would totally do it for you. But I just saw it on X and I thought it was worth bringing up to the chat today. The Quality Learning Center, 5 years of being doxxed. Doxung who? Okay. I said, oh, thank you. Thank you. I love seeing conservative women. It's where she, oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Was feeding people to the lions good? That's a good question, I guess. All right. Now, I want to move on because if you guys didn't see this, this is actually really big news. I mean, one of the reasons why I wanted to cover on the live stream today is what happened in Fulton County. So Fulton County, this is going back to the 2020 elections. They actually had crime scene tape around a warehouse in Fulton County that's holding something like 568,000 ballots. It is getting real, folks. It is getting real. So we're going to jump to that. And I'll share the screen the right way this time. Promise. Stop share. You guys can talk while I am doing this. And let me see. Okay. Let me grab this. Tee this up for everybody because you got to see what happened here. It's just like unbelievable. Okay. All right. So this is Bannon's War Room.
These are horrendous.
Poll open.
We have breaking news from Georgia. The FBI just executed a search warrant at the Fulton County Elections Office near Atlanta, according to a spokesperson who spoke with the Associated Press.
Staring at this boxy building in South Fulton County, which is the county that's the epicenter of the 2020 election dispute that Donald Trump claims that he won. And I've watched several FBI agents walk in, walk out. I just saw Fulton County Clerk Shay Alexander and Fulton County Commission Chair Rob Pitts walk in. They wouldn't comment to a group of reporters as they walked in, but Shay Alexander has talked to one of my colleagues, and again, she's the clerk of the Fulton County court system, who says that the FBI was, I'm quoting here, FBI agents are here to get the 2020 ballots. So she says on the record that they are here to look at 2020 ballots.
Do they store 2020 ballots 4 years later? Would they still have those, Greg?
That is the key question, and it's somewhat in dispute where they are stored, if they're stored at all, if they're stored here at this giant kind of warehouse building in South Fulton, or if they're stored at one of the other Fulton County sites, either in downtown Atlanta or elsewhere in this giant county. It's a very populous county of more than 1 million people, the largest and most populous county in Georgia, a Democratic stronghold. So that there's a question of whether or not the FBI can even get what they're seeking here, which is, again, what the clerk says, those 2020 ballots, if they're even here inside this building.
The Justice Department has sued 24 states for their voter data, Dave. And Georgia's Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, has refused to turn over that information. What's the DOJ's rationale for wanting the data? Have they been successful in any of the suits?
They've only reached settlements with red states, but the data they want is from the blue states. It's from states that Trump lost. They want to be able to go into court after the next election and say, here, we have the real voter file. We have evidence of fraud. It's one thing when Kash Patel as a private citizen says it, or Dinesh D'Souza as a private citizen says it. It's another thing when the Department of Justice goes into a federal court and says it and has the voter file. And that's why the states are pushing back. They said, we see where this is going. It's not going to a very good place. And in the end, I don't think they're going to get the voter files. You saw what happened in Minnesota, where there was
I actually think that they did get the voter files. So I'm going to, this the cold open that Steve does all the time, just to give you guys context and what, is being reported on this. But I'm going to
attempt to mediate the ICE dispute, to say on.
Look,
it's kind of long.
Why the questions?
The people, the share.
What is my task and what is my purpose? If that answer is to save my country, this country will be saved.
War Room. Here's your host, Stephen K. Bannon.
Okay, Wednesday, 28 January, year of our Lord 2026. Oh, happy day. We've waited for this day for a long time. Sally Grubbs and Janice Johnson are on deck. I'm going to talk to them in a minute. Two of the most important people in Georgia elections. Let's go to Garland Favorito and his wife, Tamara. What's going on?
So Garland Favorito did a lot of work and has been fighting this for 5 years. And I remember watching a lot of Garland Favorito. So this is just some history for you. And then hear what they have to say, because obviously this is real time in 2020.
Right there, MSNBC is in full and total meltdown, Garland, because they have no earthly idea what this is all about. They have no earthly idea why the FBI would be down there. They have no earthly idea why a federal judge would sign a search warrant. They have no earthly idea what the MAGA War Room posse has got the building surrounded right now. Tell our audience what's going on, sir.
All right, so we're down here at the Fulton County Election Hub and Warehouse, and this is where the FBI executed their search warrant today for the 2020 ballots. And as you know, Steve, the elections records never added up in Fulton County for 2020. Fulton County elections have prevented us from having the ballots. We had the original lawsuit in December 23 of 2020 with Caroline Jeffords, and that was, they've never given us the ballots. The Fulton County judicial system has kept us from having the ballots, despite the fact that we won a case in the Georgia Supreme Court for standing. They have played a shell game with us for years, and finally the FBI has stepped in. So hopefully we will soon get to see what the ballots really say.
So Tamara and Garland, let me just ask you. They arrived a while ago. My understanding is they wouldn't even let the trucks move up the ramp. Is the FBI in the building, and do we know they actually have the hands on what I was told? Is it 500,000 or 600,000 ballots?
Yes, there's 528,000 ballots for the election in.
Okay, I am going to jump back into the chat, get some discussion going with everybody. Let's see. Why should we give him that info? Well, we have to have, there was a crime that was committed. I mean, they have crime tape. So run it. They have crime tape. This is a big deal. And I'm going to move forward in this video. I wanted you guys to meet Garland Favorito. He has done a lot of work on this. And if you've been following it for like 5 years, like I have, I know exactly who Garland Favorito was. I know exactly what this is all about. There was obviously, if you remember, Trump supposedly lost Georgia by 11,000 votes. Well, these guys never gave up. And here we are in 2026 and, FAFO and Infidel. I vote for voter ID too. Yeah, no, actually, they do have crime tape. Yes, they actually do have crime tape. And I'm going to show that to you, Run It. And Infidel, I totally agree with you. We need to have I think it's the SAFE Act they're talking about. I vote for voter ID. I agree. We need that. If just very simple, paper ballots, voter ID, we wouldn't have all these problems and people would trust our elections again. And to Run It and to everybody else, don't you just want to trust your elections? I mean, people still to this day do not trust the 2020 election. So there is that to, if we want to get our country and have unity and all of that kind of stuff, these are the kind of things that need to have happened. So I am going to, okay, let's see. LOL, what is crime? Democrats will just catch and release you if you identify with their ideology. Totally. Absolutely. Megan. Definitely lose the Dominion machines. Oh yeah. So you bring up a really, really good point, Mel Gillum. It was brought up on another live stream that I was watching the other day. There's a guy on YouTube, goes on YouTube a lot. His name is Matt Morris. I recommend you follow him. He's really, really good. But is this a coincidence that this is starting to happen after they captured Maduro? Don't forget, the Dominion machines was out of Venezuela. So now we've got Maduro in custody. And is he making a deal with the Trump DOJ? That's what is happening. So I think that is actually a really, really good point. If Biden did this, would you be okay? Well, I mean, no, I don't think if he did this, I don't know. I think if it was based on real evidence, I probably would be okay. Because, and by the way, Garland Favorito, this gentleman that you see in the screen right here, he is not a Trumper. He never was a Trumper. He just wants free and fair elections. That's what he wants. He wants fair elections. And so I do think that a lot of us would support if we felt that Trump was stealing the election and it was based on real evidence, a real suspicion. I mean, there were real questions, Run It. And I'd like to have the conversation with you. Don't you remember that there were the water main break in Fulton County? All of a sudden that just turned out to be like a leaky toilet or something like that. There were videotapes of people stuffing the ballots when they shut down the voting, the center where they were counting the votes, stuffing those ballots. That was on videotape. And that was just Fulton County. Don't forget what happened in Michigan. I remember seeing cardboard over the windows at these different election polling centers and things like that. Those things did happen. I also remember a lot of the election judges that were Republican election judges complaining that they were kept like a football field away from the actual vote, and they were not able to look. You're supposed to have one person from one party and another person from another party look at the ballots and basically certify at the polling place on on election night, and they were prevented from doing that. So if Trump was doing this against Biden voters, yes, I would really want to know. Absolutely. We can't have a coup. Nobody wants a coup. Nobody wants a coup, even if it's your guy or not your guy. We don't want a coup. It is, our government is by the people and for the people, by the people, we the people. That is what matters. So let me look at a little bit more. Okay, yeah, Joe Friday. Okay, I remember seeing a UFO pick up a mail truck and then drop it off at Mar-a-Lago. I don't remember that. Okay, LOL. Legal immigrants that didn't come here to F up the country are more pissed than y'all can imagine. Yes, you're right. Kirsten Verde, 43. And they should be. You know why? Because they follow the law. They should. They absolutely should be. And I feel terrible for those people. And if I was a legal immigrant that went through the process, cost a lot of money, a lot of time, I would be enraged. That alone, we should these illegals should be removed, because it's not fair to jump the line. I mean, remember the old days? Some of you Gen Xers are in here. You might remember this. We used to go and see movies like Star Wars, and there would be lines, and we would, wait and everything like that. And you'd be mad if somebody jumped the line or jumped the line to buy concert tickets. That's the way we used to do it in the old days. It's not fair. And I would not. If I was a legal immigrant, I would be very, very upset. Where fictional votes count. Okay, suicidal altruism with a side of dangerous empathy. Interesting. Laws are over morals, guys. You heard it here first. Okay, I'm missing a lot that's happening in the chat. And by the way, I see new people piling in. You guys let me know, where you're from, like and subscribe. And if you want to support the channel, super chats or join my channel. We're getting a lot of members joining the channel. We'll be doing members only lives after my lives on Sundays. So that might be fun for everybody too. But either way, I can grow that way, and I would really, really appreciate it. I'm going to move ahead to another lady. Her name is Cleta Mitchell, and she's going to talk a little bit more about what all of this stuff that happened in Fulton County on Wednesday happened, and just so you guys can have context for that. So let me go there.
Fulton County,
it's like 450 that they've got.
Tell me.
Comical, and I went with
are labeled or marked or signed.
Okay.
So there's no way to know if we're anywhere near the clerk of the courts area of the warehouse, or the sheriff's area of the warehouse, or the Supreme Court record area of the warehouse. And when I first arrived, all the doors were shut, and no one would answer the doors.
And no doors are labeled either. They have numbers, but there's no markers identifying what door is what department.
Finally, some kind person in the sheriff's department opened the door for the FBI, and we followed them in. And but that was as far as we got. And then the FBI moved on into the inner part of the warehouse, toward the commissioners through the election board, what we were dealing with, because we were soon to face obtaining these documents ourselves if we could get past the Superior Court of Fulton County. So it's been, it's interesting, and I can't tell you how relieved I am to see these documents being packed up.
Dr. Janice, here's the reason I think there may be some consternation. This is a crime scene. They're going to put crime scene tape. Cleta's going to read us the search.
Okay, there's some crime scene tape right there. This is a crime. Okay, so I want you to see that. I don't know if you're still in the chat or not, but this is a crime scene, and there's the tape. Here we go.
Which one? This is a crime scene.
It's right there.
Well, there's some people around there that may be moving out of those rooms today. It's one of the reasons we want the FBI to go down. We kept screaming in the show, just go down and grab the ballots before they destroy them. The FBI doesn't do civil. They don't go into civil situations and grab documents. This is a crime scene. Look at the crime scene tape right there. This is a crime scene. And these are horrendous crimes. This may be one of the greatest crimes in the history of this republic, the stealing of the 2020 presidential election, which you guys have worked day and night. And if you had not persevered, we would never gotten to this day. Folks, this is one of the greatest examples about human agency. If any of these people had quit or just said it's too hard, because they had every single roadblock, even when they have official positions, like being on the Georgia State Election Board. You saw today they shut it down. Let me go, Cleta Mitchell, and can we just keep the shot right there on the crime scene? I don't want to lose that shot. Cleta Mitchell, can you read us? Do you have the search warrant? Can you actually read it to us, ma'am?
I do. I'm going to tell you what
This is my hair on minoxidil. This
Sorry.
is my hair on finasteride. And this is my hair on this new at-home
what the search warrant covers.
Okay, so there's crime scene tape and there's a search warrant. This is a crime. The FBI is involved because this is a crime. This isn't a civil thing. It's a crime. The other thing is, if you guys don't know who Cleta Mitchell is, she was also very, very involved back in 2020 when the whole election happened and things like that. I do believe she might be an election lawyer. I know she's an attorney of some sort, but again, she's she's the real deal. That's why I wanted you guys to hear her. And she's going to explain exactly a little bit more about what is happening, what they're looking for, and, provide some additional history. Before I do that, I will jump back into the chat in case anybody has anything that is particularly, wants to. Run it. She's a heavy. So now I showed you the crime scene tape, Run it. I'd like you to get your response to that. Let's see. Generation X, white liberal. Women created a monster, aka Donald Trump. Now the monster has turned on them. Yeah, I just don't agree with you, Generation X. I don't. How has he turned on me? I mean, I'm a white woman. I'm not a liberal. I haven't explain it. Give me your position. How exactly has he turned on anybody, to be honest with you? I have no logic. Okay, yes, I know. I'm stupid. That's always the left's response. Run it. I know you've applied many times. I'm trying to run everything together, and it's quite a bit to run the chat and produce the show and talk and things like that. So let's go back to Cleta Mitchell, because this is very key.
These are the records that are particular things to be seized. I love that word. All records relating to violations of Title 52 United States Code, Section 20701, which is the Federal Election Records Act. And so all physical ballots from the 2020 general election, including but not limited to absentee ballots, every type of ballot, whether cast, spoiled, provisional, etc. All tabulator tapes for every voting machine used in Fulton County, including but not limited to the zero tapes. Those are the tapes that are supposed to say, we ran this test and there were zero ballots tabulated at the opening of the polls. Closing tapes. Now, mind you, these are all fraudulent. We think that the ones that they have presented are fraudulent. That's one of the things you need to know. But all the opening tapes, closing tapes, and any other tabulator tape from any voting machine that was utilized in the general election in Fulton County in 2020, all the ballot images, because we know that there were ballot images that were destroyed for hundreds of thousands of ballots in Fulton County that came in, absentee ballots that mysteriously appeared after November 4th of 2020, the day after the general election. So all ballot images during the original ballot count and the recounts, because none of those match, by the way. All voter rolls. What they're really asking for here is not the voter rolls. It's not like the other lawsuit. They're asking for the voter lists that show who came in and voted, the names of any voter that indicates the voter to whom an absentee ballot was issued, from whom an absentee ballot was received, or who participated in advanced voting or election day voting. That means the list of voters who presented themselves and who actually voted in the election. There is supposed to be a record of everyone who voted, whether by absentee, any method, absentee, early voting, election day. They're seeking those records. The warrant, let's see here, authorizes a review of electronic storage media and electronically stored information. So not only the hard
So that's who Cleta Mitchell is. She's a senior legal fellow. That's what I mean by this woman is not, a rookie. She's very, very well studied. She's very well respected. And, that's a heavy hitter that is commenting here. I wanted to say that. But clearly they're looking at absolutely everything. I mean, this is actually bombshell news. And if you really understand what Fox News, I mean, even Fox News was covering it. They covered it this week. So, that's a signal that this is actually pretty bombshell. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, going forward and things like that. I'm going to jump back into the chat to get some comments. And then I want to show what was the reaction from the AG in Fulton County while this was going on, while the FBI was in her building. I'm going to play that in a second. So anyway, Jamie McShammy, if they prove voter fraud, does Trump get another 4 years? Or what happens after the fraud is proven? Jamie, that's actually a great question. And I mean, does it nullify? It's a really good question. So one of the things that came up over the week that I did see, and as I was thinking about what I wanted to cover on this live today, was, does that make, as an example, the Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, because Biden really wasn't president if they prove that this was a coup. I don't think it was election fraud. I think it was a coup. So don't forget, there was the Hunter Biden laptop that was suppressed and it never came out. You had 52, I think, intelligence agency people saying it was Russian collusion. All of that has been admitted to now. So it's the votes are one thing. The votes were just part of it. They brought absolutely everything that they could bring down to stop Trump being elected again in 2020. So now, obviously, he's back in office. Now we're looking at this. Now this is getting some serious legal legs. In my opinion, this is my opinion. I do see crime tape. We're using words like warrants and things like that. Then what does happen? And I think it's a great question, Jamie. What does happen? And let's get some more cross talk. I watched fraud being carried out at about 10 different polling locations on live streams during election day. So the corruption has to be far wider than anyone knows. I'm butchering the name. Yes, I remember that. In fact, I will tell you something that happened in my community. I have been voting at the same polling location here in Chicago for 25 years. Always the same people, same location, same people, same election judges every year. I know them. I know what to expect. Whatever. In 2020, I went to my polling place like I normally do, and it was completely different. They didn't have, generally, prior elections, it was older people, my neighbors, I knew them. In 2020, it was a totally new crop of people. It was young people. They were using Sharpie pens. Do you remember the Sharpie pens? That was very odd. I never saw Sharpie pens ever before. And something was just really, really off. And that was in Chicago. That was how organized that it was. So you make very suspicious. I totally agree. Ice baby. Let me see. Run it. What are you going to do with your gun? It's a good question. Run it. Infidel. What part of no debate with Nazis? Okay. I'm just, if they were to validate his 2020 win, it would invalidate his current term. Seems reasonable for him to just finish his current term, having served 2 and be done. Well, he didn't serve 2, though. That's the problem, Steggy Music. He didn't serve 2. No person can serve 3 terms. No, he would stay in office because he never served. Joe Biden served. So I don't think that would be likely to happen. But it is a good question because we've never faced anything like this before. But I don't think that there was anything to the degree that we saw what happened with that election. I don't think we saw anything like that before. So someone's saying, get a life, liar. Okay, this is fun. If they prove fraud, all of and executive orders and pardons should be nullified. Bobby Adamo. Yeah, absolutely. I really do think so. I mean, that is really, really what will happen. Salty Spotted Dog. Welcome back. I think you've joined me before. Third term. I'm fine with it. I mean, hey, let's see. LB, it would help Vance in 2028. Yeah, definitely. Okay, let's see. The Senate race was affected also. Yes, it was. Yes, because they had the runoff in it was Ossoff and against Kelly. She's the SBA small business. She's in the cabinet now. Kelly Loeffler against Ossoff, and he won. There was another guy, I'm blanking on his name right now. And yeah, you're right. It did affect the Senate too. All right, let's I remember reading that in Arizona, someone was caught making false voter registration forms. They used all of the names of the Dallas Cowboys players to fill out those forms. Sweet havoc. You know what I do remember, and maybe you guys in the chat, and comment on this if you can. Do you remember the guy that was a mail truck driver, a postal truck driver, and he testified and he said, no, I was driving ballots from like Pennsylvania, or maybe it was Wisconsin to Pennsylvania. Remember that? And then, he kind of went away. I don't know what happened to the guy. Do you guys remember that story? I mean, there was a lot of stuff that happened. There was a lot of stuff. This is just only one aspect of it. Openly keep up the good work. Thanks, Jason. Thanks for joining the chat. I hope you guys like and subscribe. All right, let's go back to Cleta, and then I want to show you what was happening with the Fulton County Democrats while this was going on. So we'll let Cleta keep going, and then we'll talk a little bit more, and then a little bit more.
Hard copies, the paper, also all of the storage by electronic data. And that is what they are supposed to be seizing and taking out of here. Let me mention one other thing, Steve. On December the 4th, Dr. Jan and Sally have been doing yeoman work on this. Dear friends, we've been warring in this war along with Garland and Tamara. I love these many years. But the Fulton County District Judge McBurney ordered on December, just before Christmas of 2025, he dismissed and denied the Fulton County Election Board's motion to quash the subpoena that the state election board had issued for all of these documents. It said that the state election board is entitled to those. Now, the Fulton County board said, it'll cost $430,000 for us to scan everything. Well, no. We don't want them touching anything. We don't want them scanning anything. We want them turned over. Mm-hmm. Our side will do the scanning. We've had quite enough of Fulton County officials and Brad Raffensperger, Secretary of State, and Chris Carr, Attorney General, and all of them. We've had quite enough of their handling anything. So we are all delighted and hoping that from this point forward, that all of these materials.
So run it. Brad Raffensperger and Chris Carr are Republicans. So I think everybody probably in the chat would be in support, whether you're Republican or Democrat. If you're committing, crimes or standing in the way, or, I'm struggling for the right, because I don't know what the right term is in terms of, is this election fraud? Is this voter fraud? Is this a coup? I think it's all of those things. I don't know the actual law to cite, but I do believe that all of us would be, in support. And Brad Raffensperger is probably pretty scared right now. And if you don't know who he is, and I'll pop back into the chat real quick. Do any of you guys know who Brad Raffensperger is? I mean, you're aiding in the cover-up, Monica. How so? What are you talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about. Thank you. Somebody just said, good job. Get a job, you effing losers, and stop worrying about some Muppet like Lemon. I love the chat. We always have fun. In tag, they run in waves trolling the podcast circuits. Yeah, I think they do. I mean, I think they do. Today, actually, Mel is pretty tame, because I'm not talking about Candace Owens. And so, I'm not getting like pummeled by the by the trolls and things like that. And again, I don't mind debate. I think it's totally fine if you're going to be respectful. I don't have a problem with that. It's when you're going to be trolling and things like that, that, it doesn't do anything from anybody. I'm from Georgia. I hope Raffensperger is investigated and charged. Pamela Faux Painting 1228. Thank you for that, Pamela. Yeah, so you probably remember a lot of this. And, I'm sitting in Chicago just kind of, remembering my memories from 5 years ago. But yeah, I think Raffensperger is probably shaking in his shoes right now. That's my opinion. Sean Hawkins 666. Trump lost the 2020 election co-parter. I don't believe that he lost. I think, if you have that belief, I suppose that's, you're entitled to it. I actually think Trump won 3 times, not just twice. But that's what I think. And you're certainly entitled to your own opinions. They never know what they're talking about. They support the abuse of women, release the Epstein files, stop the chaos. They did release the Epstein. They released it the other day. Did you, Zoe girl 123? Did you not see the press conference with Todd Blanche the other day talking about the Epstein files that they just released? Maybe you're the one that doesn't know what you're talking about. Are you talking about me not knowing what I'm talking about? No, you don't know what you're talking about. They just released the Epstein files, and I could probably pull it up if I had that bookmarked, but I do not. So, no, they don't. I'm not sure why YouTube would point me to a white Trumper nut. Manifested desires. I'm not a Trumper nut. I think, I don't know, maybe I'm glad you joined. Happy to have you. I'm not a nut. So, he lost 60 court cases looking for voter fraud, and you won't find anything here either. Actually, Dwayne, you're not correct about that, because the court cases, evidence was never presented. What happened with those 60 court cases, and I think this is very, very important, is that they were never heard. Evidence was never presented. They were supposedly dismissed because he didn't have standing. That's very, very different than losing court cases that actually went through an actual trial and that evidence was looked at and adjudicated. That did not happen, Dwayne. Parrot 7133. That did not happen. Unequivocally did not happen. So, and you can look it up. No, they don't. Okay, she thinks I'm nuts. I lost all these cases, blah, blah, blah. Not standing loss. What's the difference? Well, no standing, when they just didn't hear the case. They basically dismissed the case. Now, we see this happen all the time. They dismiss cases because it's not convenient for them. So that's very, very different. That's not a loss. That is a court case that never went to trial. There's a huge difference. So, well, somebody's, I'm going to want to get you back in the chat. Let's see. Even if we prove all the voter fraud, they'll still never believe the facts. These people are now sick in the head. They need psychotherapy. They totally do. See, they don't have anything to say, like this loser. Alex Messing, you're a loser. Trump's a effing pedophile. You're a loser. You have nothing to say. None of you on the left have anything to say other than insults and saying that Trump is a pedophile. When you want to come at us with policy discussions, and you can back up your policy ideas, and you can back up with facts and logic, I mean, we'll have that discussion all day long. I know the right will win every single time. I mean, and it will be easy. We could probably do it with one hand tied behind our back. I mean, it's not going to be hard because we're not insane. So yeah. Yes, you can look it up. He lost. Ifham 1942. Well, here's what I have to say to that. He's your president now, buddy. Didn't lose in 2024. In fact, he won all 7 swing states, and it was a joy to watch. So that's my opinion. Okay. Yeah, again, pedos. That's all they can call us, is pedos. It's just, I mean, seriously, are you guys really, I mean, I understand that there's, there's Darwinism, survival of the fittest. Some people are born smarter than others. I mean, I totally understand that. But don't you guys, I mean, is that all you got? Just calling names? Can't you bring an actual discourse and a well-reasoned argument based in evidence for discussion? If you can do that, I'd love to see it. Bring it. I mean, I don't mind the discussion. So let's see. Democrats have mental illness and need help. They really do. Pat Jager 6932. 2024 election was rigged thanks to yeah, see, yeah. No, it wasn't. If you're talking about Elon Musk, and that's another thing, Dwayne, I think that I find this quite funny because I bet you loved Elon Musk before he decided to support Trump in 2024. Do you remember what happened to Elon Musk when the left, they loved Elon Musk, loved him before the 2024 election. Then all of a sudden he gets involved. Remember they were burning down the Tesla? I mean, that's what you guys do. You burn things down because you don't like Elon Musk. Whatever. So stupid. The childish ways the Democrats are lefty loons acts like grade school. Michelle, it's just the truth. The Epstein files redacted information that wasn't legally allowed to be, not to mention only 3 out of 6 million were released. If you cared about election integrity, you wouldn't want gerrymandering. CMDN. Okay, well, I don't know if you are aware, but the right, they're complaining about the gerrymandering, which is exactly what they do. That's what Newsom was doing. He was having a pissy fit and pissing in his pants over the gerrymandering in California, but it's exactly what he did. Same thing in Illinois. They gerrymander the hell out of these districts in Illinois. Why do you think they keep on winning? I mean, it's one of the reasons why they keep on winning. Most people do not support the Democrat Party. I don't think that they've ever been as unpopular as they are today. And it's because of boys and girls locker rooms. Men can have babies. Now it's about, this anti-ISIS fighting, like this Renee Good. She lost her life, and this Alex Pretty, they're putting themselves and losing their lives because they're protecting people who are here illegally. Like, seriously, explain that to me. It's totally retarded. It's what we call retarded. Jeez. Yep, Democrats are retarded. I swear. After I do these lives on Sunday, White Cliff, it's like tiring. I have to have like a, dinner and like a glass of wine or something like that because it's exhausting. But anyway, okay, let's keep going. It's because Democrats are children, grow up, bitches. Thank you. Okay, when a gerrymandering vote was brought to Congress, every single Democrat voted for it. 0 Republicans voted for it. I don't know exactly what you're referring to, but I know that gerrymandering, I just know this was the absolute favorite tactic of the left because Pritzker would not be the governor of Illinois, nor would Brandon Johnson have won. I mean, you should see these districts the way they're carved in Illinois. Like I live along the lake, and then they have it like, it's like it's not even. It's just not even. It doesn't follow. It just doesn't follow. Why is Trump protect? See, again, tech support 891. Again, with the paydos. You guys have got to have something better than paydos. Really, seriously. All right. I'm going to go. Monica, why are you still in Illinois? I spent 30 years there. 6. Hey, I know. Into G17. I'm going to Naples next week. I go to Naples. I actually leave. I can't wait. I'm in Illinois because my mom still lives here and she doesn't drive, and it would be difficult for me to kind of move her down to, and my family, it's 100 years in Chicago. Chicago's a beautiful, beautiful place. And I always loved it, but it's a good question. I will be in Naples. I'm going to spend a week there, and I'm always trying to, it's kind of a hybrid trip. Yeah, I love Naples too. It's so pretty. I can't wait to get down there. So it's going to be a hybrid trip. I'm going to, start to gradually spend more seasons down there and things like that. So you are a good daughter. I am a good daughter. I appreciate that. Okay, guys. Yeah, Naples rocks. I love Naples. And there's so many great restaurants and stuff like that. I just love it. I can't wait. Let me go to, we're going to jump to what they were doing in Fulton County while the FBI was on site there. So let me find that. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to share this tab instead. Listen, this chick is hilarious. She did a really good coverage of this. Watch this.
Fulton County. A lot of stuff about this FBI raid. Is it just me, or does she look like Kamala Harris on a budget and Michael Jackson outfit? County elections and registrations. I'm on the inside right now. So doing this video while the FBI was taking 700 boxes. So I just want you to be like real discerning about all that you're hearing from people who are on the outside of what's going on. I'm going to give you the truth about what's happening. You about to give us that bullshit. They served a warrant, the FBI, this is Trump, serving a warrant to go pick up the 2020 ballots, which are in a secure location inside of here, 700 boxes. So if this is the 2020 election, why y'all tripping? I mean, just give them the boxes. What's the problem is? The first warrant that they gave was incorrect legally, like they didn't follow the right procedure. They went back and they fixed it, and they came back, and now they aren't actually collecting the boxes. You didn't think that was gonna come back? They are in the command, the chain of command in Fulton County is that once they are archived, they become the possession of the clerk of Superior Court, which is Shay Alexander. She is here and she is with them, inventorying everything that they're taking. That's why your nervous ass out in the hallway doing a video. We, the commissioners, the chairman, the county attorney, are trying to figure out a legal plan as to maybe an injunction, a motion to quash. We don't know yet. Y'all should have thrown them shits away a long time ago. Okay, it's too late for that shit.
Yeah, so the lady's having this meltdown, and I love the lady that is commenting because she's like hilarious and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's a really good question. And actually, when I had Steve and Cleta Mitchell on earlier, just a second ago, they were talking about seize those ballots, because we've those of us that want this investigated were very, very concerned about what they would do with these ballots. So anyway, she's having this meltdown while the FBI are getting those ballots. So great.
We're trying to figure it out. We're getting all kinds of legal advice to stop this, because once they have the ballots, how do we then turn around and do something different when they've already got their hands on it? What's something different are you gonna do? These are ballots from the 2020 election. What you gonna do? This is an attempt to take your vote away. Bitch, they already voted. This is 2020. The votes have been counted. They're in. We didn't have the presidency already and a new president. This is all about November 2026, about the primary on May 19th and then the November election. He does not want the midterm elections to take away his power. No shit, Sherlock, but they ain't got shit to do with the cheating that y'all was doing in 2020. So he's trying to create chaos. So this is what he does. This is what y'all do. Chaos in Minnesota, chaos in Fulton County. See, this bitch gonna keep making me cuss. He ain't causing no chaos there. That's the protesters doing all that agitating. And that's your ass doing all that cheating in Fulton. We are a target. Protect your vote at all costs. How are we supposed to protect it if y'all out there stealing them?
Isn't that lady great? Don't you just love her? And actually, I love the point that she makes, because Trump is not causing the chaos. It's the left that's causing the chaos. Okay, let's look at the chats, and I'm going to play a little bit more of this for you. You care more about them releasing 6-year-old ballots from legitimate election than you care about releasing the full unredacted Epstein files. Yeah, I mean, I don't care about the Epstein files. I really have never cared about the Epstein files. So you could be right about that. It just wasn't a big issue for me. I you know why, and I'll tell you why. CMDN, and I appreciate the discourse. I don't care about the Epstein files. Number one, there's really nothing new. We know there's a ton of, scumbags, global, in Hollywood, in the government, just everywhere. We do know that. The reason I don't really care about it, it's not a central issue for me, is because it doesn't affect my life at all. The illegals in this country affect my life. I do care about that. It literally is a direct effect on my life. Epstein files, they do not. So let me see. Without illegals, they won't have any power. Twinkle Nuts, 8454. We all know it. Trump knows how to eliminate threats to America, and the Democrats have proven time and time again they are the biggest threat to America. They really, truly are. Let me see. How can you not care? Disgusting. Sorry, I just don't. I mean, if there was not a ton of other assaults going on the regular American citizen. And you know what? Check out the video I just did, my long form on the Amazon layoffs, how that's an H-1B visa scam. Such a scam. And there's a lot of stuff that's very similar to what you're seeing in Minneapolis with the fraud, with the Somali fraud. Very similar things are going on. I did a video on it. I'd love you to check it out. I don't think it's disgusting for me not to care. I mean, yes, I feel bad for the victims, absolutely, but it doesn't affect my life. The illegal aliens affect my life. The Greenland affects my life. That's very strategic national security. That's going to affect all of our lives. I care about that kind of stuff. I care about men in women's locker room. That affects my life. Those are the things that I care about. What if it was my daughter? I mean, people should be held accountable. But again, and you don't know that I haven't had you don't know what potential history is that, anything like that. I mean, I think it's terrible, but by and large, this is not something that affects most Americans. Okay, somebody, I don't care about billionaires raping children. The only person to face consequences for the I mean, that's not really, I mean, I don't think that that's my attitude. I'm just being honest with you. I think that there's other things that are just more pressing. That's all. So anyway, we get more people in the chat. You guys, please do like and subscribe. I will prioritize super chats, help the channel grow. Getting litter boxes out of the bathrooms. Okay. Greenland affects your life. Compromised politicians affect you. Greenland affects all of our lives. If you know what's going on with basically whoever wins the AI war, China's making a play for Greenland. It is in North America. That is a long-term putting America first strategy. And it does affect the minerals, the silver, the gold, the precious metals that are in Greenland does affect all of our lives. Absolutely. Because we can't lose we can't lose that. So I'm going to play the rest of this lady because she's awesome. Let's get back to her. She's a lot of fun. Ready?
I'm telling you, everybody always says your life depends on it. Oh, your life does depend on it this time. I know we said it 19,000 other times on every other election, but this time we're being really, really for real. Your whole life. I know that bitch didn't walk off like she done really said something. Boo! Boo! I promise I can't stand these Democrats. Lord have mercy.
Okay, wasn't she fun? Wasn't that fun? Anyway, so you guys, we've been going for a couple of hours. Let's take a few more, crosstalk, and let's see what everybody has to say. 100% agree with you. Epstein is another redirect off the main issues. I hate Pato. Start with Bill Clinton. We all know he's guilty, but the left always redirects on Trump because yeah, totally. LOL. Let's see. You don't own Greenland. How dare you steal their land? Well, actually, Zoe, again, I don't think you really know the history of that. We actually do have rights to Greenland. And I don't have all of the details on it handy off the top of my head, but we actually gave it back to them. So there's a history there of actually, we do have some rights to Greenland. We're not trying to seize Greenland, and Trump made a deal with Greenland, and it's going to be good for all of us. So if you want to live the American life and you want your AI and you want, do you want China to have the AI? I don't think you really want that. But you're an old white lady, so you're right? I'm actually not old. And again, with the insults, Zoe, bring some intelligence. If all you can do is insult, that's all you guys can really do is insult people. It's ridiculous. So let's see what else we have. We're going to hide that current comment. Venezuela was a straight up huge win, keeping that oil from Russia and China. Yeah, totally. I'm so happy about it. I love it. I mean, he's kicking ass. It was just so great. It was just great. Butterflies to Monkey 17. In our country, 89% of psych patients are liberal. It's so true. I mean, there really is something wrong. There really, really is. ruin his butt hurt. Pat Yeager, 6932. Let's keep it going with the comments. That's the left. They constantly throw insults because they have no argument. Okay, you're so true. So, Michelle, I'm glad you said that. And I'm throwing this out to anybody in the chat who's on the left. Give me an argument without an insult that is well reasoned and based in fact. And we'll all talk about it right now. If you can't do it without an argument, that's a disqualifier. We're waiting. We're waiting. We'll I know everybody in the chat will join in and we'll have a discussion. I agree. AI is a problem for sure. And what I hate about it is everybody thinking they're not creating something with it when it's not them creating shit at all. Yeah, I have different opinions on AI, AK 1971. I mean, do we really need AI? And again, I'm in tech. Want to check out some of my videos. I talk about AI. I talked about the Amazon layoffs being blamed on AI. Am out talking to companies every day in my professional life. And it's just not delivering on the value. It does not make us more productive. In some ways it does. But, and for every good thing about AI, and there are some good things, it does deliver something. There's 4 bad things. So that's my opinion. She tells on herself and thinks she's in the right. Lance, I don't know how I'm telling on myself. I'm honest about my opinions and why I think them. They're well reasoned. You give me your opinion and how well reasoned, other than, I listened to Don Lemon or Rachel Maddow or MSNBC saying Trump's a pedo. Do you have anything more than that, Lance? Lance-a-lot? If you do, and it's well reasoned, let's talk about it. I guarantee you mine is well reasoned. We gifted Greenland back after World War II. Yes, exactly. Twinkle Nuts, thank you for having my back on that. I knew that we do actually have a right to it. Again, that's why it's important to know your history. And I appreciate you popping in the chat and sharing that. Okay, butterflies. Liberals really don't warrant being heard. They propped up an Alzheimer's patient for 4 years. And acted like he was a king. 100% true. The rest of the world will utilize AI. If we don't, we'll be screwed in a lot of different industries. Law Professor 77. I totally agree. I mean, again, this is my space. Talking about AI every day, Monday through Friday. So I agree with that. But, I think that there's a lot of different mixed opinions about AI. There's just a lot. I mean, is it worth the environmental costs, the energy costs? There's just a lot of things to think through, but we're going to get AI no matter what. And we have to win the war, because if Xi wins it, that would not be good. Dictators do vax mandates through OSHA, bypassing Congress. David Becker, 6670. If you're going to make arguments, let me see. If you're going to make arguments, at least get the terminology correct. I don't know if you're talking to me or not. And that's fair. I mean, maybe I didn't have terminology correct. I guess I don't have everything at the ready all the time. I'm not perfect, but I'd like to bring a value to everybody and give this platform every Sunday for people to be able to talk about things. Again, if you guys are new here and hope you like and subscribe, join my channel, support my channel. This is what I do. I do long form videos during the week. I talk about corporate America because that's really my lane. I talk about AI. I talk about Gen X, retirement, all kinds of different things, transitioning to multiple income streams and things like that. That is a focus of mine. But on Sundays, I like to get what I'm calling a news aggregate, where there may have been stories that you missed during the week, or something that I think is important that may have flown under the radar. And I want to bring it to everybody and host these live streams so that we can have discussions. And people who disagree with me are certainly welcome, as long as you keep it respectful. But that is, the Doe Monica Media channel, and that is what I'm trying to do. And I do want to, bring value to everybody through YouTube. So let's see, Ryan H. 2691. I don't know who you're talking about. Hope you're not talking about me. That's not a nice comment. Whoever you said. Oh, great. Oh, thanks, Pat. You subbed to my channel. Great. I'm so happy. Thank you, Pat. I really, really enjoy that. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to, it's just funny. Anybody who has a faith. I just kind of got led to this YouTube channel. I never thought I'd be a YouTuber before. And I just think, how does God want me to use this? He's given me success with it. How does he want me to use it? What are my gifts that I can share with everybody? And that's one of the reasons why I do spend time on this channel. So I appreciate your subbing. Yeah, I'm going to have to block them. I saw somebody talking about blocking them. I'm going to be blocking some people. They weren't really that bad this week, to be honest with you. But anyway, let's take a few more. President Trump, the Arctic of the Arctic of the deal. I like that. That's cool. Let's take some more comments and then okay. Infidel, you stayed the whole time to bring. I love that you're here. It's really, really great. Thank you for your support. People don't understand Trump or his rhetoric, and he went above and beyond so that he would get what he wanted. Yeah, I mean, I think that's in support of Trump. I think I'm reading your comment correctly. I do think people misunderstand him, and he's a different way of speaking, and it just drives some people crazy. He is a polarizing guy in a lot of ways, but actually, I think that sometimes they run. He's clearly making a joke, and then they get hysterical and run away with it. It's just ridiculous. Yes, ma'am. I love it, Infidel. I love it. Okay, Butterflies 5789. He does his entire salary. You're 100% right on that. He does do that. I mean, I'm so happy that he won, and we just have to make sure that we hold the midterms and that we get, Vance. I've been a fan of Rubio lately for 2028, but we cannot have, they're going to run Pritzker. I think Pritzker might be a bigger contender than people think at this time. So, that would be awful having been a person that's lived in communist Illinois. You don't want Pritzker as the president. I guarantee you that. So Trump plays chess while they play checkers. Yeah, I agree, law professor. Cigar Waymouth. Things are so much better. They really are. They really, really are. Okay. Fish Guru. Oh, I think you're back. I think I've the options were either Kamala or Trump. Yes, you've been here before. Nice to see you again. Thanks for joining. Yeah, I like Rubio Bevis. I do. How do you know he does that? You only think he does. Eliz West. I'm not exactly sure what you're referring to. Monica needs deconstruction. No, I don't. Everything he does for a reason. We may not see it, but look what happens every time these idiots show their bad side. And yeah, Tanya Flynn. Yeah, he does. Isn't it funny how he's so good at trolling. He actually makes the left yell and scream about protecting, murderers and things like that. Or, he just boxes them in the corner. And the next thing I know, they're yelling and screaming about, no, we have to keep illegals here. It's not right. And these people are nuts. They're nuts. Guys, check out some of my long forms on my channel. I do a lot. $2.69 a gallon. Yes, 100% true. Let's see. Bevis. Marco has come a long way. He's in Hillary's old job. I think he's doing a great job too. I totally agree. We're going to do a time check. You guys, it's 1:30. We've been going for about 2 hours. Come back next week. Every week I do. Oh, well, no. Oh, I'm on my way to Naples next week. So it might not happen. I don't think it's going to happen next week, but maybe I'll do it Friday night or on Saturday instead of Sunday next week, because I will be in Naples next week for the week. Thank you so much. If you liked and subscribed, any super chats, thank you. If I missed you, I'm sorry. Or join the channel. We're going to have a lot of fun growing this channel, having common sense. And have a great Sunday. And thank you all for making another great live stream. And I will see you all, Ultra Mega Patriot. It might be Saturday. I'll put something up on YouTube, like post it when I'm going to go live next. But that's the deal. I like to cover like what went under the radar on Sundays for this open chat and get to meet and know you all and grow this channel, because we got to get, you know, the common sense and conservatives and oh, thank you for subbing, Secret Agent Paul. I appreciate that. Everybody, have a good Sunday. Take care. See you next time. Bye-bye.